Hello, guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm playing It Girl, and I'm really just gonna be talking while you guys watch me play. So I really won't be talking too much about the game. I will say some things here and there, and I did put some random pictures in because that's what the people's outfits reminded me of, or it's what I based my outfit on. Sorry for the background noise. My nephew is playing in the cupboards right now. Anyways, for my ranking system, I did 3 is a really good, like I really liked your outfit. 2 is good but could have been better. And then 1 is just okay, or I don't like it at all. I don't really do 4 or 5 because I still want to win the game, even though these people have incredible outfits. I still want to win the game, so I don't think I gave away 1, 4, or 5 during this, so yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to talk to you guys, and I was just going to talk about my favorite show because, okay, I'm sorry if you can hear my nephew in the background. He's yelling at my cat. Anyways, though, nobody, like none of my friends who I talk to have seen this show, Lost. So none of them have seen Lost, so I have literally nobody to talk about it to, so I'm just going to talk about it here, and then hopefully you guys will watch it. Also, I do talk kind of fast, so I'm sorry. I'm just a fast talker. Yeah, anyways, so yeah. I'm tricking you guys into listening because I'm playing It Girl. And yeah, also for this outfit right here, oh my gosh. Okay, I don't know what's going on, so I'm sorry. 1 minute. My nephew is getting into the dishwasher. Okay, guys, I'm back. He tried to throw a knife at me that he took out of the dishwasher. Anyways, as I was saying, this outfit is based off Avril Lavigne at the 2002 VMAs. You'll see, I'll put a picture in here, but I really thought this was a grunge fairy, and then I looked at everybody else, and apparently I was not a grunge fairy, but I still liked the outfit, regardless, because I love Avril. You can see right here, here's the picture. Yeah, I love Avril. He was a skater boy, she said see you later boy, he wasn't good enough for her, she had a pretty face, but her head was up in space, she needed to come back down to earth. Thank you guys, thank you. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. Lost. Yeah, nobody talks about it. Nobody I know has seen this besides like my family, and they don't want to hear about this anymore. So yeah, but yeah, I'm tricking you guys into listening because you get to watch me play It Girl. Anyways, so the show is about a plane crash, and it's very interesting plane crash because they crash on an unknown island. It's not on any maps or anything, so they're really somewhere nobody knows about. And the plane was going from Australia to Los Angeles. Every character has a backstory episode, so you get to learn about them. Just like the main characters, they don't have like the random background characters that die the next episode in it. Their background stories, except for they actually do have one like that where they show you the background story and then they die. But it's fine. It's fine. Anyway, yeah, so they were going to, oh yeah, this reminded me of the moth from New York, Monster High. Anyways, so they were going from Australia to Los Angeles, and I was mad that I didn't win this. Anyways, okay. They went from Australia to Los Angeles, and the plane was like running out of fuel or something, I think. I don't know. I've not watched the pilot episode in a while. I usually skip that when I rewatch it just because I've seen it so many times, but maybe it's time to watch it. Anyway, so they were going from Australia to Los Angeles. They like ran out of fuel or something, so the pilot turned the plane around, trying to go back to Australia, and they ended up crashing on this unknown island, like I said. So the rescue crew, they were 1,000 miles off course, so the rescue crew was looking for them, but not in the correct place. And we will see later on in the series, this is a little bit of spoiler, but they did find a plane crash, which is believed to be this one, so they stopped looking. Hold on, my nephew's yelling at me, he wants me to pick him up. So if you hear any noise, sorry, he likes to talk. Anyways, so they were looking in the wrong spot for this plane. Okay, he's trying to get into everything right now. Okay, so they're looking for the wrong plane, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, there's so many main characters, like over 100 main characters. So you are bound to find at least one character that you like. Although the good characters do die. There are good characters who last till the end, but some do die. Obviously, it's a plane crash, and they're surviving on a remote island that nobody knows about. Or so they think. Foreshadowing. Anyways, so there are so many characters that there are so many bad ones too that you just hate and you just hope they die, and then they do die, and then you go, yay! Okay. But then there's also, obviously, the good characters everyone loves. And the character development for some of these characters are so good because in season 1, you're going to hate some of them. 2 of them in particular, named Sawyer and Jin. They're not very good or likable in season 1, but as you watch the show go on, you see their character development, and they actually become your favorite characters. Yeah, so anyways, the main guy, like the main guy, because obviously there's main characters and there's like the main character. The main guy is Jack, and he's a spinal surgeon. So they got really lucky to have a doctor on the island with them, because obviously they were in a plane crash. So obviously having a doctor is very useful to them, regardless of if they were on a crash or not. Being on a remote island with a doctor is obviously very, very good. And then, okay. The show opens with Jack on the island in the jungle, and every episode in season 1, I believe every single episode, opens with someone's eye. Like they open their eye, and this first episode is Jack's episode, so it opens with Jack's eye, and it usually opens with the character that episode is about. So this is why I love Lost, because there's so many episodes in every season. I think the shortest season, I'm pretty sure, is season 4, and I think it has 18 episodes, and then I'm pretty sure season 1 or 2 is the longest, and it's like 26, 24 episodes, something like that. Anyways, but since there are so many episodes, you get to learn so much more. Now it's like 10 episodes a season. You get to learn nothing about the characters. So I like that there are a lot of episodes that you can learn about all these characters. Anyways, so Jack kind of becomes the leader because he's the doctor, and so he kind of just tells people what to do, and they follow. And he was actually supposed to die in the first episode, but the writers liked him so much. Also, Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, this one Slade. Anyways, so he was supposed to die in the first episode, but the crew loved him. Matthew Fox, who plays Jack, he did a great job on him, and so he ended up staying the entire series, or until he eventually dies, if he does die. Not going to spoil it for you, even though it kind of did. Anyways, so he just becomes the leader naturally, and then so he does not die in the first episode, but Claire is especially grateful to have Jack because she is 9 months pregnant. Oh, hold on. Jack was in Australia because his dad had passed away there. I'm pretty sure his dad was living there. I'm pretty sure he was living there. Anyways, so he was there, and then he ended up dying while he was in Australia. So Jack went to Australia to pick up his father's body and bring him home for the funeral, burial, everything like that. And so they were traveling with this. I got 3rd place, by the way. I slayed that. Anyways, what am I saying? Okay, I was saying Jack got. Okay, so Jack was on the plane. Jack's dad's body was on the plane with them. And this plays to be a crucial character. You will see his dad throughout the series, and you'll learn a lot about Jack and his father and their relationship and how some of the other characters connect to Jack's father. So that's something, it's really interesting because everybody connects in a way, and if you watch the backstory, you'll see that nothing that happened was a coincidence. Okay, so Claire is 9 months pregnant. She's from Australia. She's Australian. It's played by Claire. No, not Claire. Oh my gosh, what's her name? The girl, she was in Once Upon a Time, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, she's Claire. She's 9 months pregnant. She was in Australia because she lived there. She was heading to Los Angeles, because excuse me. But yeah, he was headed to Los Angeles because she was gonna give her baby up for adoption, and you'll learn to why she was going to when you watch the show. It explains everything in her episode. Right here I was being Princess Peach, by the way. Anyways, so she was going to Los Angeles, and then obviously didn't go as planned, crashed on the island. And then Charlie, he's my personal favorite character. He is technically he's an ex-drug addict now but in the beginning of the series, he is a drug addict, and he's an ex-rock star. His character development is really good. I really love Charlie. He's my favorite character, obviously, as I said. But, so you get to see him giving up his drugs in order to get his guitar, and you'll kind of see what that means. There's an episode in season 1 called The Moth, and it is about Charlie, and it's just about how he kind of finds his worth, because he's like, you'll see, he feels like since I'm Charlie the druggie, no one thinks I'm useful and this and that. So you'll see kind of how he develops and everything like that. You'll see how his character development, how he gets through that and everything, and how he sees he really is useful on this island. And then he was in Australia because, oh my gosh. He was in Australia because, hold on. Okay, anyways, I'm back now. So Charlie was in Australia because he wanted to get the band back together. His brother was part of the band called Drive Shaft, and they were in a band together. And so his brother is now living in Australia with his family, his wife and his kid. And, so he goes to visit his brother in Australia, and he wants to get the band back together because it's kind of like, that's who Charlie thinks he is. Like, he has to be the rock star or nobody will like him, basically, is kind of what he thinks. And so he's in Australia trying to get his brother to come back to the band. His brother doesn't want to, so he's heading back to Los Angeles. And then next we have Sawyer. He is an ex-con man, and he was in Australia seeking revenge, because you'll see, I'm obviously not going to spoil too much on it, but something had happened and he needed revenge, or he wanted revenge on this guy because of what he had done whenever Sawyer was a little kid, and you will see that he became the man he was hunting. This reminded me of Princess Bubblegum from Adventure Time, by the way. You'll see on the screen right there. Anyways, so the guy he was hunting seeking revenge on in Australia is also a con man, and so he kind of became the man who he was hunting, and you will see that line in the show. And so Sawyer has a really great character development. In the beginning, you really don't like him. He's really a jerk, and but as the series goes on, you will see why. You'll see his development, and you'll see why he's such a good character. Also, when I saw this one, I was like, it reminded me of Melanie Martinez, like the dress, kind of. And so I was wondering, is it Melanie or Mulaney? Because I always thought it was Mulaney, but then I watched Gone with the Wind, and it was spelled the same way as Melanie, and it was pronounced Melanie. The cousin of the guy who Scarlett wanted to marry, but she ended up marrying Rhett Butler. Love Rhett Butler. Love, what is his name? Clark Gable. Love Clark Gable. Anyways, that was a random thing, but yeah, back to what I was saying. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, character development on Sawyer, whatever. Okay, and then, Kate, she's like the main female lead, and she is second to Jack because Jack was supposed to die in the first episode, and then Kate was supposed to take over, but since they liked Matthew Fox. He did not die, and so it's just Kate and Jack are like the two leaders, and you'll see that throughout the show. But Kate was actually in Australia because she was on the run from the police. So she is a criminal, and you'll find out what she did and why she did it and everything like that if you watch the show. So she got caught while in Australia because the guy who she was staying with and working for found out that she was a convict and that the police were looking for her, and so so he turned her in, and then she was being brought back to Los Angeles to go to trial, go to jail, everything like that, because that is obviously where the crime happened. So yeah, obviously she never made it back to Los Angeles. So yeah, and then there's also, for everyone who loves love triangles, it's more of a love square, but in the early seasons it's a love triangle between Jack Sawyer and Kate. Kate is really the player in all of this, but in later seasons we will see the other two take on a more Kate role in that aspect. Hold on. Okay, so as I was saying, there was a love triangle which turns into a love square. So in the later seasons, there's another character who shows up, and she basically, hold on. Okay, so there was another character, female character, who shows up and kind of becomes in a love triangle with Jack and Sawyer, and then obviously Kate is still there, so it's Jack, Sawyer, Kate, and this other girl that you will see throughout this series. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you'll see throughout that time those four people being in a love square. So yeah, and then Hurley, he is like the comedic relief. He's in Australia because he believes these numbers are cursed because he won the lottery with these numbers, but ever since then he has had nothing but bad luck. So he believes that these numbers are cursed. So he goes to Australia to find the origin of these numbers and why they're cursed and how to get them to be uncursed. And so that's why he's in Australia. He finds answers kind of, but he was obviously heading home after that. And he's the comedic relief, like I said. He's like a puppy. There's no way you cannot not like him. Like, there's nothing he does that makes you not like him. Obviously, sometimes he says or yells some things that are like, why would you yell right now? Or what are you doing? But overall, you love him. He's like a little puppy. So yeah, and then he always says like what the audience is thinking. So if you're thinking something, like asking a question, then he will ask that question. So it's kind of like he's the audience, and so it's really nice that someone is asking the questions that you want to know. And then to John Locke, he is the next character we're talking about. He is in Australia trying to go on a walkabout, which basically a walkabout is like, it's like a jungle social thing. I don't know the exact definition, but I know what it is, but I don't know how to explain what it is. So you can look it up if you want to know, but it's basically like an outdoor adventure thing. Yeah, anyways, and then that doesn't go as planned. You'll see why in his episode. But he ends up heading back to Los Angeles to go home, and that's why he's on the plane. Boone, who's played by Ian Somerhalder, so I think that might help some of you guys watch this show. He did end up leaving this show to go do Vampire Diaries, but the parts that he is in the show is very good, and I love Boone. So yeah, he was in Australia because his stepsister, Shannon, she was in a toxic relationship, and so she called Boone to come and get her. So he got on the plane, came to Australia to get her, and that's why he and Shannon are both on the plane. And then Saeed, he is from, I believe, Iraq. It's either Iraq or Iran, but I'm pretty sure it's Iraq. But he was in the military in Iraq. He was part of the Republican Guard, and so he is in Australia because Australia knew that he was in the Republican Guard, and so he was asked to help with the Australian Secret Service and CIA to do some intelligence stuff. I don't really know the full thing. If you watch the show, it'll explain it all, but I don't remember every single thing that ever happened. I just know that. So yeah, so that's why Saeed was in Australia and why he was on the plane. I love Saeed also. He's one of my favorite characters as well, and he doesn't look bad. So that's what I'll say about Saeed. And then we have Michael, who is in Australia to pick up his son Walt. So Michael's ex-wife Susan lives in Australia, and she took Walt with her, so Michael cannot see him. So you do feel bad at Michael for some things, but then some things you're like, bro, I don't like you at all. He does kind of redeem himself a little bit, but still, it's like, you let all those people die for what? You know, you'll see. Anyways, so he's picking up his son Walt because Susan, Walt's mother, had died, and so he obviously, as his father, he went to go pick up Walt, and so Walt and Michael were on the plane because of that, and we also had Walt's dog Vincent on the plane. Vincent, I will spoil this for you guys. He lives the entire series. Don't worry, he's a golden retriever, and he lives throughout the entire series. So don't worry about Vincent. He's fine. So he is. So that's why Michael, Walt, and Vincent are on the plane. And then next is Sun and Jin, and they were actually running away. First, hold on. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Sun and Jin, they were running away. So first, they were in Australia because Jin works for Sun's dad, and this is the only way that Jin was able to be with Sun. But Sun knows that her dad is a bad man. He's a powerful business associate, businessman in Korea, and so they're both from Korea, by the way. But yeah, so she knows her dad is a big, powerful man, and so she does not want her husband working for him any longer. But he's supposed to work for Sun's dad in order to be with Sun. So Sun wants to get away, but they're in Australia because Jin is delivering watches to business associates for Sun's dad. And the reason they were going to to Los Angeles was they were going to go to Los Angeles to deliver another watch to another business associate. And this watch does come into play, which you will see on the show. But yeah, so they were headed to Los Angeles to deliver this watch, and then they were gonna run away and be in, they're gonna just live in Los Angeles because they wanted to get away from Sun's dad. And obviously, if they're in Los Angeles, he cannot really force Jin to work for him. But yeah, so that's basically why they were in Australia and why they were headed to Los Angeles. Yes, this reminded me of Joey King. I don't know why, but it did. Okay. Anyways, excuse me. Anyways, so the last main character of that you'll need to know for season 1 before you get introduced to other people. You'll get introduced to other people, but you're the main people. Anyways, so Rose, she is on the plane because she was in Australia. She has cancer. I believe it's, I actually don't know what kind. But she so obviously she's sick with cancer. So she was so her husband wanted her to go to Australia to get her healed, because there was this alternative healing guy there, and so that's why they were there. And Rose's husband, Bernard, was actually on the other side of the plane. The plane got split into 3 pieces, so you get to see what happened to him later on. But so obviously there was some drama and stuff with that, but the island heals Rose from her cancer, so there's something positive for you guys. Yeah, so anyways, so that's why Rose was in Australia, and then she was heading back to Los Angeles. with her husband Bernard, who was in the back of the plane at the time of the crash. And again, you will see what happens to him. So Rose is kind of just sitting there silently. Obviously, she's in shock like everybody else, but she's sitting there silently, just mourning because, not really mourning, because she doesn't believe that anything bad has happened to Bernard. She's just wondering where he is, if that makes sense. So, yeah, and then, that's basically, like, all of those characters that you really need to know about, but there's a lot of mystery in this show. Like, there's a lot of questions, but they do get answered. There is a few that don't get answered in the end, but it's kind of like, they're kind of like, you can infer the answer to them. But yeah, a lot of people complain about the ending, but that's just, they don't understand the ending, and it makes me mad, because you'll know if you watch the show. Hopefully you get the ending. But yeah, that's basically that. There is a lot of mystery, a lot of death as well. Hold on, my nephew is yelling. Sorry guys, he wanted more raisins, so I did in fact give him those raisins. But yeah, there's a lot of mystery, a lot of death, a lot of good and bad to this show, so I really do recommend it. It is 6 seasons, but it is really good. Okay, he is talking about his raisins. He's really loving them, so if you can hear him in the background, he's just talking about how good his raisins are. Anyways, this show, it's like, also there's a lot of drama. Anyway, so it's like Manifest. Manifest is actually, it's not based on Lost, but it did take inspiration from Lost. And the 100 is also like Lost. I think the 100 did say that they did take inspiration from Lost as well. Not positive on that. Actually, I have not seen the 100 or Manifest, but yeah, I also have not seen Yellow Jackets, which people say is like Lost. So if you like Lost, if you like any of those shows, then watch Lost. Also, it is like The Walking Dead in the survival aspect, because they obviously have to survive on this island, and they face problems and everything like that. So it is like The Walking Dead, and I actually have seen The Walking Dead, so I can tell you from knowledge it is like The Walking Dead, and there are a lot of characters like The Walking Dead, and yeah, it is really good. So I do really want you guys to watch this show. Please, I need somebody to talk about it with. Just watch season 1, and just watch season 1, and you'll love the show. So a lot of Boone in season 1, I'll tell you that, which is again is Ian Somerhalder. So I think that should give you guys a boost to watch Lost. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, just give the first season a watch, and then yeah, that's really about Lost that I can say without giving too much spoilers away. I will want to talk about it more in the future, while I'm playing It Girl again, but we'll see. But yeah, that's basically the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching, because obviously I was just talking for, I don't even know how long, this is, because I literally can't see right now. Anyway, I've just been talking for a really long time, and so yeah, thank you for watching, and I will hopefully post another video soon. I think I can just do some It Girl videos, and I think that will do good, because I can just talk, and it's just easier for me. I do still want to do Bloxburg videos, but those are a little bit more longer, because I have to kind of plan out what I'm going to do, and It Girl, I just joined the game and play, so yeah. Also, I do want to play Outlaster, because I love Outlaster, so I do think I'll do a video of me playing Outlaster. But yeah, anyways, this is way too long of an outro now, so I'm going to go. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.